What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and 0.2 brought a ton of changes with it, big and small. But one of the lesser talked about changes were those to realm scores, as well as essence rates from completing phase structures and points of interest. I had planned to talk about this one last week, but the hybrid build video took a lot more focus than I expected. So this week, just in the nick of time before 0.3 launches, let's discuss how essence farming has changed, how you could go back to having productive rates, and the direct approach you could take to farming tiered essence into the thousands and having standard essence by the millions. This again is a guide I'm going to be updating as development proceeds with Nightingale, so if you like me keeping up with the times with my guides here, please let me know with a thumbs up or a comment. But now let's get into how essence farming has changed here in Nightingale. So the easy thing to cover first is that realm scores have now become groups, instead of the progression that they used to be. So now you'll have each group for tier 1 to 3 essences, which is good because it used to be this sort of half system, where throughout the main game you went through a progressive difficulty, but then at the end of the game had only one set of difficulties for all realms. Now it's like each tier of essence is a tier of realms, staying consistent throughout the whole game. Each tier is as follows: Abeyance for your standard white essence, Antiquarian, Astrolabe, and Provisioner for tier 1 or green essence, Herbarium, Gloom, and Hunt for tier 2 or the blue essence, and then Ascended Realms and Vaults for tier 3 or the purple essence. This is a good change because now when you enter a realm, you might not have a crazy grind to get all the things in a store. Like, say if you were going through your playthrough and wound up in an Herbarium realm. It was much more difficult with our previous system where Herbarium got the worst rates of essence, meaning it was more efficient to just go to Hunt, farm your essence there, then head back to Herbarium and Gloom to pick up stuff from the vendors. Now you could buy as you travel much more easily. But it's also a bit of a nerf on our previous essence farming, so we'll go over the new counts for essences, then how I farm them to get the most for my time investment. Essence counts for towers break down into 4 groups here: tier 1 through 3 essence rates, then vault rates. For tier 1 on extreme difficulty, you'll see 32 essence as the low amount. This is consistent for every tower's first floor to get the low amount. So for each score, you'll always see the low first, then have a chance at a high rolling tower activity. These could be agility tests with parkour or intelligence tests with pylons, and they will award you 64 essence. Then for completing the tower, you'll get 128 essence. As a maximum per tower run, you could see up to 224 tier 1 essence. Then for tier 2, you see 44 essence for a low reward and 87 for a high reward. And for the maximum reward, you get 174 essence. Currently in the game, tier 2 essence is really easy to farm because you get a pretty decent reward for the max amount. Per tower run, you could see up to 305 tier 2 essence as a maximum. And then for tier 3 essence, you have 2 approaches for this. Either realm runs, which we'll explain further in a second here, or vault runs. Realm runs are less efficient, but can net you 35 essence for a low amount, 70 for a high amount, and then 140 as a maximum. And then for the whole tower, you could see up to 245 essence per run. Then with vaults, public vaults are locked to medium and will get you 250 tier 3 essence per run, whereas solo vaults can be put up to extreme and will award you with 700 essence per vault. Currently, soloing extreme vaults is the best route for earning tier 3 essence, though the final apex creature fight could be a little tough if you're unprepared. You do have an unlimited number of tries to defeat the boss, so you'll want to get to running through extreme vaults efficiently to have the maximum profit for tier 3 essence. When we farm our essence, we'll head to 2 realms specifically here. A Provisioner realm for our tier 1, then a Hunt realm for our tier 2. We'll mark off the tower, head over there, and complete it as quickly as possible. This is all the same as it used to be, so if you have the burner portal set up for those realms, you're already good to go. If you don't have the portal set up for a hunt and a provisioner realm on extreme difficulty, you really want to get those built in your abeyance realm. Then, after we complete the tower, we'll look on the map for Bastilles of Agility. We're looking for a specific one, a new Bastille added in 0.2. as it offers the same maximum reward as the final level of a Fey Tower, so it's a huge boost to our assets gains. The building itself is a broken down castle tower with a ton of scaffolding all around it. The essence bubble can spawn in a few locations across the tower, but they're all set, so you'll get used to their locations after a few runs through these Bastilles. But it's easy and quick to complete, and once you do, it's like completing the whole third floor on the tower all over again, increasing what would be, say, 224 essence for a provisioner run up to 352, and that's only if you get one of these Bastilles per realm run. While looking for these Bastilles, you're bound to come across different agility tests that offer less rewards. It's still good to complete them as you go along, as they're all relatively quick, so it's just a bit extra on top if you do find these max reward agility Bastilles. The reason why we choose Provisioner and Hunt is for two reasons here. Firstly, they seem to be the only realms to reliably spawn these agility tests, and sometimes spawn more than one. And secondly, there aren't many realm-specific agility tests in these realms from the looks of things. Unlike, say, in an herbarium realm where you have to complete these floating puzzles. Realms like Antiquarian and Gloom may be able to spawn these Bastilles too, but they just don't seem to be as frequent as the ones in Hunt and Provisioner, so you'll want to head to those realms to farm Tier 1 and Tier 2 Essence. Then for Tier 3 Essence, this is pretty straightforward. You have the fast and fun public vaults that are great when you have a bunch of people running with you, or the more intense and challenging solo vaults on Extreme, where you'll face much stronger enemies but get much more in terms of Essence rewards. If you have even just one buddy to go with you on these vault runs, they become much easier, but they are entirely possible to do alone as well. Personally, I like to do public vault runs on the weekends, as more people are usually playing then, at least out here on the East Coast. But still, soloing extreme vaults never really gets old, as there's a healthy level of challenge involved in that final fight. I think it'll be cool to see how 0.3 affects vault runs though later on this week. We might have new reasons to run them more often with the new fabled and tiered creatures. But then, if you don't want to do vault runs and want to go out to the realms to gather your essence, your best bet are either Ascended Provisioner or Hunt realms to get the best rates of those agility towers. These could be a ton of fun to figure out how to optimize and approach based on the procedurally generated stuff nearby, like climbing up a structure if you see the reward is on top of the tower. It's fun to get creative with these agility tests as you can, and the reward boost of getting like 100 more essence on a fast run can be a huge benefit. With the server-side optimizations from the latest updates, you can jump into a realm, be there for like 5 to 6 minutes, then port back to your realm and have no wait time involved, which is great. It makes this process way more efficient. So there you go folks, essence farming has changed, but I believe in a good way. It gets you to do more than just monotonous tower runs when you're in a realm, adds a small luck factor, and overall nets you about the same, if not more rewards than you would have gotten with the previous method, as long as you're hunting down those agility Bastilles. So if you enjoyed this video, maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss a thing here. Again, this week we're getting the new 0.3 update with offline mode and a ton of other features, so stay tuned for coverage on that. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.